Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the TJ Pilot channel and welcome to flight number 2 in our Formula 1 schedule. We are today heading over to Baku, which is race number 6 in the 2021 Formula 1 schedule. The only flight we did so far was from Bahrain back to East Midlands, which was after the first race. And now the Formula 1 circus has been around in Europe for a couple of races, which has been Imola, then in Portugal over at Portimao, then in Barcelona, and last but not least in Monaco. And yeah, then after Monaco, next race is in Baku in Azerbaijan. And yeah, what they did is after Monte Carlo, they basically drove all the equipment back to the headquarters. So for the English-based teams, they drove it back to UK, of course, and for the Italian-based teams back to the headquarters in Italy. And so the cargo flights, which we could find on the flight radar, were both out of Italy and also out of UK heading towards Baku. And since the last time we have been flying into East Midlands, today we are flying out of Milan, so carrying the likes of Ferrari cars, and I think Alpha Tauri is also Italian-based. So this kind of equipment we are flying today in the beautiful Silk Way West 747-8 freighter. Also some other airlines, including Qatar Airways 747, has been operating some special cargo flights, but I figured since we are going to Azerbaijan, let's take the basically the cargo flag carrier of Azerbaijan, which is Silk Way West. And so we are in this aircraft today. It is nighttime here at Milan. It's close to 4 AM in the very early morning hours, and we have a flight time of 4 hours, meaning we will depart Milan during nighttime, of course, and then somewhere along the route get a hopefully beautiful sunrise, and then get to Baku after 4 hours, which will be I think 10 AM local time, roughly like this. So it will be daytime landing into Baku later on. And yeah, GSX is progressing with the cargo loading. Let's have a look at the flight plan very quickly. So we are operating Silk Way West 4994 on the 1st of June from Milan to Baku in the 747-8 freighter. The real flight, the registry was Victor Quebec Bravo Victor Bravo. I think today we have a different one. Yeah, Bravo, what is it? Bravo Victor Charlie, since I couldn't find the Victor Bravo livery online, but it looks the same, so I think it's fairly close to realism here. And yeah, times of flight have been mentioned, so departing Milan 4 o'clock in the morning, which is 2 o'clock 2 o'clock Zulu, of course. And we have a bit of cargo on board, zero fuel weight 278.3, and this means we have around 80 tons of cargo on board. But of course it is a short flight, not even 4 hours. So takeoff weight very well within the limits, more than 100 tons shy of max takeoff weight, so should be fairly easy in the 747. And I've loaded up 50 tons of fuel. So yeah, that's the data for the flight. And now I'm a bit behind schedule. GSX is a bit faster than I am, so let's head into the flight deck and start to set up. Alright, so here we are on the flight deck. I have done the D-Link and the weight loading already, so this is our init page, or the route page going to Baku, which is uniform Bravo Bravo Bravo. And let's see what they have in terms of performance for us. So fuel 50 tons, that's correct, zero fuel at 278. And reserves today will be 1213 basically. So let's dial this up a notch. Cruise level 370, that's correct. Cost index today we will use 80, and step size can stay like this. I think that's fine. And right, I have also started the EFB preparation, and basically I've loaded in the charts. So sorry, wrong menu, terminal charts, of course. We are parked at the cargo apron somewhere down here, and I think runway 35s are in operation right now, so we will use 35 left at its nighttime and probably not too much traffic departing at this time, so we should be good with 3.5 left. And what we will do here in Milan, they have these sort of these stars which also use a transition, so we in fact need to read 2 departure charts. Initial departure is this one. We will fly the ERCAT 5 Echo, so climbing out, or we can read it here, climb on 340, which is not quite the runway heading, at or above 1200, which will come up very soon. I think ground level is, it's 800 already, so just 400 feet above the ground. Turn left, intercept the Mike Papa NDB on radial 320. That's the left-hand turn, and then after passing 6 miles from MMP, we will hopefully be above 3000, and then do the big right-hand turn onto ERCAT. And then after ERCAT, we will fly the Vacon 7 Yankee transition. So that's ERCAT onto Saronno VOR, I think it is, and then onto Falcon. So that's the idea. And let's put this into the FMC. So departure, 3.5 left, ERCAT 5 Echo, and then it was the, I forgot myself, Vacon 7 Yankee. Vacon 7 Yankee, there it is. Right, and we should definitely have a look at the flight plan page today. It's maybe a bit close, so legs page, let's step through. Yeah, that's the initial turn after reaching 1200 left hand. And there we have the constraints in here, so this is 1800 above, 3000 above, 4000 above, 6000 above, and then Saran and Vacon. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just something I want to make sure if we can meet the constraints. So if we clear out the, sorry, I need the delete key. If we clear this out, then it should reload, and eventually it will tell us where we are planned at this altitude. Okay, so almost 6000. So we are very easy in terms of the altitude constraints today, which is great. Right, then we need the wind data, of course. Back to map, route data, load the wind, and it tells me insufficient fuel. Let's hope it gets fixed by the wind data. And I think all the cargo loading is completed, so let's go to the door page and close up all the doors at the same time. Can fire up the APU. Okay, now it's 14.3, so it went up a bit. That's good, so we are good in terms of fuel. And right, then RadNav. Let's make sure to have the right thing styled in here, which we need for the departure, which I think was Mike Papa. Yeah, let's dial Mike Papa here. On the left one at least. And then Saronno on the second one. I think that's good. Okay, that's a good setup. So VOR. Right, okay, then we just have to do the performance calculations. Performance. And let's bring up the wind data. Okay, so 3.5 left. Conditions are dry. We have wind 4 knots only from the north, clear skies 40 degrees. So very nice weather here at Milano. So 020 at 4. Here it says 14 degrees, QNH 1018. And let's go take off. optimum aircon is on, anti-ice is off, 3 to 8.3, that makes sense. So flap 10 today, and select temperature 66. Quite a bit of a derate, but that makes a lot of sense. So 66, and this gives us 91.9, 91.3, so fairly close. Maybe if we enter the data here, then it will be entirely correct. Wind and temperature was 14. Okay, flaps 10 and speeds 150, 150, 170. Perfect. So it seems like we have quite a bit of margin to play with. Just out of curiosity, let's try takeoff 2 and see what it gets us. No, let's try takeoff 1. Okay, that's even a bit lower, but flap 20. 90.3. That's not a big margin to the other one, but yeah, I like flap 10 today for the rather lightweight takeoff, so let's stick with the original calculation, which is this one. Okay, very good. So V2 170 goes in here. Then heading goes to runway heading. Which is 348. There it is, and altitude initially for the departure, let's see. There's nothing on here, it's probably on the second one. No, there's also nothing. Okay, so in this case, since we are flying offline today, we don't really need to worry about it, so let's go through 370 all the way. Okay, flight directors, LNAV, VNAV, looking good. Just seeing. Nose cargo is still open, and that's probably because I have the nose cargo loader in here. Okay, we can't see it from here. Again, close all. Parking brake. Okay, and eventually doing the checklist. So oxygen. Test 100%, flight instruments 256, 256, and 1018, 1018 cross-checked. Right, and yeah, we have APU online, which is very good. Let's start with these aux pump, fuel pumps. Overrides, window heats. Do we have something in the center tank? No, we don't. Okay. So packs are coming on, of course. Beacons, and now we can put on the APU and go to ground connections and remove everything. Seatbelt signs to on. And checklist MCP is set. Takeoff speeds, we have done those. CD preread is completed. Trim are 3 and 0 units. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Beacons are on. Perfect. Okay, another quick look at the overhead, but everything is looking as it is supposed to be. Quick look from the outside. Okay, they are just releasing the ground air conditioning, I think it was. Right, and then we are good to go. Now a few minutes behind schedule, but that's okay. Requesting pushback. Let's see if we can get the airport map in here. So we get pushback with the tail to the right, and then it's just going to be short taxi to the runway Okay, so we are good to fire up the engines. Packs are coming off. Beacons are on, fuel pumps are off, starting 3 and 4. Alright, not too much to see, but beautiful engine sound. Also, I'm not sure what... I haven't changed the GSX settings, but today for some reason sound of GSX Watch was much lower, which is good to hear those engines firing up. Okay, starter cutouts and starting 1 and 2. Same procedure. Yeah, what I really love is that the AI traffic, well, we can't see it now, but could see it during the engine start. There's quite a lot of AI traffic around, just being parked here at nighttime. Here's a FedEx 767, and that's really cool. Okay, now I should put this to TA. Let's squawk 1000. Okay, fuel tank engine config. This means that there's the same amount of fuel in every single tank. Yeah, every single tank. So each engine can draw on one tank. So we can take the cross fuels out, and then this should disappear. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so taxi, as discussed, will be short. I think we can... no, this is Yankee. We go to the next one, take a left-hand turn down to the runway. Maybe even this one of this is actually on the ground as well. Let's see. Okay, we have 4 good engine starts. This comes to auto. Packs come back on, APU comes off. We don't need engine anti-ice today, so this is all looking good. And then next up is the trim, up 6.4. We are at 6.0. 6.4, that is. And then flaps to position 10. Let's make sure this is on weather and turbulence. Everything looking good here. This goes to RTO. And flight controls, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, full left, and full right, neutral, perfect. Okay, checklist, anti-ice, don't need that. Recall is checked, nothing on there. AURBX set, flight control check, ground equipment is clear. And before takeoff, checklist flaps will also be set in just a second. Okay, so we are good to go. Turn off and taxi lights. I still have the dome light on. I will put this to off now. Oh, that's dim. Off. And is it really off? That looks still very bright in my opinion. But maybe it is the airport lighting coming through. I don't know. We will see in a second. Okay, and let's go. Before takeoff, checklist also completed. Flaps are set. Let's see, probably don't need too much power today. Okay, and we are rolling, and let's see if this was set to supposed to be like Golf Whiskey, if I'm reading this correctly. And yeah, that's the one heading to the left here, and that's quite perfect for us. So let's make sure to take this one. Also now TARA, traffic and terrain on my side today. After all, there are those Alps coming up on our departure somewhere. And in terms of weather, I think there's not really anything around. We can see it's absolutely clear skies here. And yeah, now the lighting is gone, so it was in fact dynamic lighting from the airport. Okay, Golf Whiskey coming up to the runway. Let's see. Oh. It seems like there's no traffic on the arrival, so landing lights and strobes. And I think that's a scenery issue that we don't see the landing lights on the ground. That's a bit disappointing, but it's not the newest scenery exactly, so that's likely the reason for that. Okay, and again regarding the departure, we need to climb to 1200, which will come up rather soon, and then do this left-hand turn. Yeah, just following the flight directors, they should be fine today. Yeah, now we can see the landing lights a bit on the runway here.
3, 5, left.
Alrighty. Ready to rock and roll over to Baku, so let's do it. Power coming up. Power is established, and toga.
Airspeed alive.
And N191.3 exactly according to the calculations. Speeding up nicely. I don't think we will need a lot of this runway today. And V1 rotate. Okay, keep it at 10 degrees. Wait for the lift off.
V2.
There it is. Airborne, yes, coming up. And yeah, very quick look outside. But we need to focus on the flying. That's 1100 already. 1200, so left hand turn. Absolutely beautiful engine sound. Okay. Yeah, and we have a very good climb performance here. Now climb power and accelerating. Pitching the nose down a bit. And yeah, let's put on this autopilot. Very, very cool. At 3000 already. Perfect. Turn off. Taxi lights come off. And flaps 5. Flaps 1. Yeah, I think there was no speed constraint, was there? No, nothing on there. That's good. And flaps up. Okay, 3500. I think that's quite off from what we saw on the FMC earlier on, but we are above 3000, which was the requirement here. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so it is very dark outside today, really nothing to see. Pitch black night here in Milano, but we are climbing nicely now. Soon will be inbound BOR Sierra Romeo November. And yeah, that's the Alps stretching out to the left hand side, which you also can't see at all. And yeah, let's finish the after takeoff checklist, which is all green. And so we are good heading into the cruise. Thank you guys for joining me on the departure, and enjoy the beautiful sunrise along the way, and then we will meet back in Baku in around 4 hours. Enjoy! So hello folks, welcome back. We are descending into Baku, and as you can see around, absolutely beautiful weather here, not a single cloud around. Very nice. And yeah, it's been a quick cruise over from Milan. In fact, let's see how long we've been up in the air up to this point. So flight time 3 hours 37 up to this point, so indeed rather quick. And yeah, we are heading into land on runway 16 today, and I can quickly show you the approach we are shooting. So we are flying the airleft 2 Echo R nav arrival, airleft, which I think is coming up. Yeah, we are pretty much spot on at airleft now, 12,000 feet, and it tells us to be between flight level 140 and 120, so we are at the lower bound of this one. Heading up to the next one, Bravo 514. It says at or above 8,500. So what I've did is, in the legs page, I fixed dialed 8,500. So we're gonna be at the lower end of this range. Reason is, here at this next waypoint, Bravo 512, it tells us here expect vectors direct to Buenos, which is here Buenos, and we want to be at 2,000 feet Buenos. So that's our challenge from here over this waypoint, then direct Buenos, descend to 2,000, and then we will eventually be on the final approach, runway 16 ILS approach today. So there's Buenos, and from 2,000 feet we will descend on the glide path. And yeah, transition is flight level 110, so we are coming up to this one just now. So let's go local temperatures, which is 1008. And right, so then we also want to make sure to go straight down to 2000 once we reach this next waypoint. And I've set auto brakes 2 today. It is a rather long runway. 16 is over here, and it has 4 kilometers. The exits are towards the end, so we have lots of space to slow down, and then we will have a bit of taxi since cargo area is all the way down here. So yeah, that's at least the plan. And according to AI Companion, there's not much traffic around at the moment, which is quite good for us. There's one cargo lux heading out to depart on runway 17, which is not the runway we are using, so that's also very convenient. Now 10,000, put on some landing lights. And yeah, weather absolutely beautiful. Track required. Okay, seems like we're still pretty much on the profile. Green arc for 8,500 is exactly at this next waypoint where we want it to be. Also slowing down now to 240. That's absolutely perfect. Right, and yeah, since there's no aircraft on the approach, we also don't need to fly the full transition, go the direct as we just discussed. Let's dial this down to 2,000. And then I'm quite excited to see who the aircraft can make it at Buenos. It's going to be interesting. Otherwise we can of course use some speed brakes and slow down further. Right, and the weather. Let's have a look together. Active sky, and then we have Baku. So it's quite windy, 80 knots of wind coming from 180, so straight from the south, but absolutely no clouds, 26 degrees, 1008 is altimeter is set already. So very, very nice weather here in Baku. And okay, so we're coming up to this next waypoint. Yeah, I don't want the aircraft to speed up now, so let's go flight level change down to 2,000 and see how fast we can get there. I believe we pretty much need to descend at idle power right now, even a bit faster than this in order to make it, but yeah, let's see what it gets us. Right, okay, auto brake 2 is set, lots of runway to slow down, and other than this we can do approach checklist, altimeter set 1008, that's completed, and then next up will be the landing checklist. And looks like here for the, well, we have the Drzewiecki design Baku scenery installed. Looks like there's some photo real area, we can see the border right here. So that's the greater Baku area, and I think airport is it down here or maybe further down there? Maybe down there. Yeah, hard to see it, but somewhere on this peninsula. And here we have a better view, so that's Buenos, and it seems like we will eventually need some speed brake to get us down on the profile. Just looking at AI Companion, but there's really no aircraft coming into land right now, so we definitely can take the shortcut on the transition. Okay, let's start to use some speed brake. And also let's slow down a bit, and we can also use the flaps to give us some extra track, so flaps 1. Okay, that's the waypoint coming up, so let's go heading select before the aircraft goes into this left-hand turn, and then we can go direct Buenos, roughly like this. We don't have to head directly for it, then we can intercept the localizer a bit early, and that's the glide slope coming in, which is very cool, but as you can see we are slightly buffed, so we need to descend a bit further. But I think now, yeah, even with speed brakes, it's only slowly coming up, so Let's use the speed brakes to slow down a bit further, 180. And flaps 5. Yeah, 13 miles out, 13.7. Sorry, I meant to dial up the speed a bit to the flap 5 buck like this. Let's arm the localizer. Should be captured pretty soon now. Ah, there's the airport coming into sight. Beautiful. Okay, and now we are below the glide slope at a good speed, where we can also set flap 10, so we don't need that speed brake anymore. Speed brakes are armed. And that's the localizer. Okay, let's use vertical speed. Don't want to drop like crazy from now on. So arm approach mode, and then we can capture the localizer also any second. 10 miles out, flap 10. Alright, let's check out this go-around procedure. Haven't looked at it yet. So climb 161 to 2000 at Bravo Alpha Kilo. Then turn left, proceed to Bravo 104, climbing to 4000 and hold. Okay, so 4000.
2500.
Okay, 8.7 miles out. There's one aircraft. I think that's the cargo looks taking off on the other runway, at least it should be. Okay, 7 miles out, looking very good now. Let's put on those other landing lights, turn off and taxi. Do I still have the... No, logo light is off, okay. Okay, altitude capture, and that's the glide slope, so this goes to 4000. 6 miles out, let's drop the gear. And final approach speed will be 147 plus 5 makes it 152. Yeah, I think plus 5 is okay. It's quite a bit of wind, but since it's coming from straight ahead and it's not gusting, we should be fine by adding 5 knots. Yeah, so that's the cargo looks taking off. 747 as well. Very cool. Okay, dropping the gear. Oh, sorry, we dropped the gear already, of course. A bit late with the config now, so 152. Flaps 25. Flaps full.
1000.
And landing checklist should be all green in a second. There it is. It's a bit bumpy. No auto land. I'm not sure if that's because I was late on the config or there's something else. My aircraft, since we don't need auto land, we're fine anyways. Just a bit bumpy now. We are very good on the profile, so 2 reds white. And now it's this 80 knots of wind. Has been only 10 knots just a moment earlier, so quite interesting how the wind picks up closer to the ground.
Minimums.
Continue. to a bit of crosswind now.
100.
Looking good. Touch high, but that's okay. Long runway.
30. 20. 10.
Bit of a hard touchdown, and also what happened to textures now? Ground textures have disappeared for whatever reason. Reverse decelerating. Okay, manual forward, manual braking, idle forward. Okay, that's quite interesting. Not sure what's going on here. Some elevation issue probably. Also don't have an airport map in here. Okay, let's take this exit. Yeah, a bit of a hard touchdown there. I hope I didn't break any expensive Formula 1 stuff. Okay, clean up. I think we can continue straight ahead at this point. Let's quickly have a look at the airport.
Approaching. 16.
Yeah, straight ahead, that's good. Right, okay, so looking good, looking good. Landing lights, strobes. And auto throttle, flight directors. Okay, so here we are. Now let's have a look where we need to taxi. So that's the terminal, although it looks super empty right now. But we will need to go a bit further than that. So we should be somewhere here on Juliet right now. Parking stands. Let's take some of the Charlie ramp. Let's take 7 is occupied, so let's go 8. No. Okay, so Juliet and then Alpha down to Bravo, I think it is. Yeah, Alpha, then right on Bravo, and then down on whatever this one here is. Let's still Bravo 1, okay. Okay, so that's the right-hand turn on Bravo. And then after that it's the immediate left-hand on Bravo 1. Part of those ground textures are a bit weird. I'm not quite sure if that's all intentional by the developers or if there's also some elevation issue going on here. So apparently there's not a single passenger aircraft on the terminal site, but some of our company 747s standing around, which is of course a pretty cool sight for us. Okay, turn off when taxi lights come off. APU should be running now. Yes, it's available. Perfect. And we are going to park right in between those two 747s. APU's coming online, and let's shut down number 3. We don't need it for the turn. Just trying to see where the that's the taxi line, I think. Okay. I think I overshot it a little bit. Okay, let's hold it at the second one. So, here we are. Cool, park and brake. And APU's running, so killing the other engines like that. And then hydraulic pumps are coming off. Fuel pumps are coming off. Beacons are coming off, and seatbelts like that. And yeah, let's see. Block time 4:07 and flight time 3:50, a bit faster than expected. Unfortunately, there's no landing rate on this one, but felt like a pretty firm touchdown. I'm guessing around 400, maybe even 500 feet per minute, which is a bit too much, but never mind. Still within the limits, and that's usually some value where we at least don't break anything, so at least that's good. Right, and yeah, that's done. Shutdown checklist. Park and brake is set, and that's fine. And weather radar, we still have it on. That's terrain, and then traffic and weather. Right, stand by. And that's it. Alright guys, and that's it. We have completed our Formula 1 flight number 2 from Milan to Azerbaijan, to Baku. And yeah, unfortunately, according to my release schedule, this video will be released only after, a couple of days after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Nevertheless, I will also try to make a flight back to Europe from Azerbaijan after the race weekend, and then post it a couple of days later on, so that we have a nice, nice sort of logic in our Formula 1 flights here. Very excited to see where they are heading after this. So next race will be in France, so I expect they will fly back to those same airports, which are Milan and East Midlands, but also sometimes there are passenger flights going on, so I will try to capture one of those for the next one. And yeah, other than that, thank you very much once again for joining me, and it has been a pleasure to have you guys on board as always. And yeah, feel free to leave comments down below. Always happy to read up on them. And yeah, take care. See you next time. Bye bye.